Today, I want to reintroduce myself for probably the third time now because I'm possibly recommitting to consistently putting out informative content without hype in the style I do and on the topics I do. So I intend to be much more consistent. I'm going to shoot for 3 to 5 times a week. And a lot of that has to do with the point we're at right now is pretty significant. And I didn't just pop up again because the price of Bitcoin is over 100K. It's kind of just a convenient timing around everything, and it tracks with a lot of the things that I have talked about for a little over a year and a half now. And the halving cycle idea about how the crypto market has always worked, that's been relatively accurate, but I haven't ever really been convinced that it has anything to do with that itself. It really tracks the global liquidity cycle, and that's roughly every 4 to 4.5 years, which tracks extremely well with what the crypto market has performed over time. Up until about now, when we are really beginning to talk about regulations, the crypto market, in my own opinion, has just been kind of a controlled casino. And I have talked about the price control methodology and the algorithms that the very important people actually implement. Once we do have regulations, especially in the US, a lot of that will pretty quickly just evaporate. And once we get a more, I guess for lack of a better word, a more regulated environment, and once you get these institutions and these companies who use this financial technology to be much more comfortable and to just outright be allowed to participate, the market will, and I will say at this point, it could take off like we haven't ever seen. And this whole 4.5 year crypto cycle won't really exist anymore, especially once we get true utility, which just so happens to be the exact thing that I always talk about. And from here on out, I think that a lot of the content will primarily revolve around the connections that the cryptos and the companies and the entities I have on the screen, how they tie into everything else that has happened, that is happening at the moment, and that could or will very likely happen. So I probably won't stray too far away from these core things. I do have some more things that I want to add on here. I'm starting to run out of space, and I've been tweaking it over time, but it's just kind of a matter of how I can put it on the screen in order to have it make some sense and to at least somewhat represent the scale of the interconnections. I do have some things to talk about on quants. I do want to come back to XDC more. There is a lot of information on IBM I have collected, except of course I will always come back to Ripple and XRP, and of course Stellar and XLM. That is really all that I wanted to talk about right now. I still have to put together some content to roll out probably starting next week, but we are in a really good spot, or I personally am at least. Today has been a pretty happy day. According to this altcoin season index, it hasn't even started yet, and we're only at a 53 on the fear and greed index as well, which I don't pay any attention to at all. So with that said, it's really not all that important. Oh, hey, we are up over 102K on Bitcoin right now. It's up 6%. We're up 20% in 24 hours on ETH. 8% on XRP, and of course, a lot of other things that I hold. It's up in between about 10 and 20%. So I think that it's about to be a pretty exciting time, and I am happy to be able to come back again to talk about how I learn and just to try to spread that, because I've just always approached it that way, and I haven't ever wanted to be an influencer or anything. So I don't intend to really change a whole lot. I think the change that is probably the most obvious is you now have a visual representation of me, and that is kind of fun and cool and new, I guess, but it's probably about the only change in terms of the content.